And another day, another Goff of Toes. So we've met them. I want to keep looking around though, because we have a whole town of Daventry to explore, which is really just 3 shops. But and this is where we came from. All right, I was trying to get my bearings again. Let's talk with her.
Hey, Graham. If you like sharp things, you've come to the right place. We have over 23. Oh, forgive me. Last night was a little rough. I woke up on the floor, my bed nowhere to be found. Can you believe that? What type of yahoo steals a bed while you're sleeping in it? And the most curious part, nothing else is missing. Usually, that sleep depriver would be hunted down and fed to the crumbler. But today is different. Today, I sold a shield while I was out watching the parade, and money always puts me in a better mood. Anyway, take a look around. Let me know if something piques your interest.
Alright, so there is the swords and stuff. Let's end off with the bakery. And then honestly, let's go exploring. I don't want to... This looks like a big decision to make.
Hello there, and good afternoon. Forgive the shop from lacking our usual favorites. With all the bridges out and my supplier missing, I can't keep all my delicious treats stocked.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But have a look around. I'm here to answer any questions.
Oh, custard? Oh, just like my mom used to make.
Oh, I'm saving that pie for a special occasion. Sorry.
Alright, so he didn't request anything. The fruit tart is going to be what's for sale there. I can already kind of see and guess that. Let's try and make progress right now. And when we can't, that's when we'll come back to the town here. Interesting. So we can go through this way. It's good to know. There's still unexplored area, though, that I want to hit first. Part of my strategy in point and clicks, and I've explained it before in other ones that I've done, but if you're kind of new to it or haven't really watched any of my point and clicks before, one of my main strategies and one of the big things that I've kind of learned in the game is to try and see everything that you can and explore everything you possibly can. A hatchet would have been great here to chop that stuff down. Try to explore everything you can first. And don't try too hard to solve puzzles until you're actually stuck. So try and get a general look at the world. A blue lantern.
You just pranced into a dark cave filled with vicious wolves?
You know, I'm not sure. Maybe I should pause for reflection.
Alright, that's cute. I figured that would get me killed, but... Alright, here we've got Acorn.
Don't worry. The Wetzels will be here soon, Princess Madeline.
A ton of rope. Come on, baby!
I wasn't always the master archer, you see before you now.
How'd you learn?
We'll get to that part.
Funny. Alright, I was wondering if it would go further on the second time. One of the things to always look for in point-and-click adventures as well is the wording. Because he said, you know, I wasn't always the master archer, you know, how did you get to that part? Does that mean we should try again to become a better archer, so to speak, through experience? Actually, what was the game? Sanatorium was probably one of my favorite examples of it. There was a a puzzle that made no sense. There was, well, you know what? Don't turn right. No floating islands that way. Oh, hell, that's right.
Starberries framed a serene view. Shame about that buzzing beehive, though. My love, you're my everything. I might not have enough money for a ring yet, but I just can't wait any longer. Will you be mine forever? I better put this back.
It seems like a trap.
Bees!
I ruined the bees' day and that lovely meal.
Not exactly what I wanted to do.
I tucked the berries away for later, even though I was craving a cliffside snack.
Alright, are the bees enchanted by Belle? Alright, you know, it was worth a... Sanatorium. There was a little river, and you didn't quite know how to get across it, and you were in a playground, and you recovered one of those, like, spring toys that you get on, you go back and forth, and the answer to it, he said something, you know, I don't know how to get across the spring. I forgot exactly what it was, but the word spring kind of made me think, oh, maybe I can use the toy, even though one of those toys is nonsensical to get across the river.
Kids, don't stop screaming until Dad pulls over the wagon.
And so, knowing the words, knowing the verbiage that they use can often lead to clues in these games.
This was on my bucket list.
Pooper scooper. Alright. This would be the first example of being stuck. Not horribly stuck, but semi-stuck. Couple things we can try and do. We can try and tempt a frog. Oh, we can climb? We cannot climb. We can try and tempt a frog with berries. Up here is our friend and the arrows. We're not quite good enough for that yet. We've got the trap there. We've got this. Listen to the wording.
I wasn't strong enough to move that rock.
Alright, so maybe in the wizard shop is something that would get us past that. I'm still more inclined to side with the smith, as she's been the only one who's kind of acted as an ally to me. Beyond that, though, let's check the strawberries for the frog. Why do you need a frog? I have no goddamn idea. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's gone. That changes things pretty significantly. Well, you know what? Let's go with the first thought. Don't break a line of concentration just because. Actually, first thought, strawberries on the squirrel.
I never waste food.
And the squirrels attack again? Yep. Okay.
That pumpkin was housing too many squirrels for my taste.
So the badger is the clue that the badger chased away that one squirrel. We want to keep that in mind. And despite it not being a point-and-click adventure, it's definitely a puzzle-solving game. So generally in these games, they never feed you... Jesus Christ. They never feed you bad information. They always feed you information that's somewhat relevant. Alright. So none of that stuff worked on the frog. We're going to move out. Let's go back to the meat now, because that's at least on our mind. Alright. A solid game, though, so far. I was very concerned that it was going to be, truth be told, similar to Telltale games, which is very little puzzle solving, very little figuring out stuff, and mostly just answering questions. I actually feel Telltale has gone a bit downhill. Haven't been as happy with them lately. I feel The Walking Dead really helped them the most, and then... Oh, the fruit picker doesn't work! Interesting! Interesting. I would have bet money that that was the answer. Huh. I don't know the point of this feast still, but what we did was relevant.
Someone had set the scene for a lovely evening.
And what we did was important there. I actually thought we were going to keep the hive, but we didn't. So it's an answer. It's moving us in a direction. Let me talk to the blacksmith again. Said she's kind of been the kindest to us.
I think I know where you use this.
And it wasn't here. Well, alright. Now, what's kind of annoying with that kid's statement there is that have we already passed the point where we would have used strawberries? Strawberries could be used to lure a badger that's around here, question mark, no. And they weren't used here.
I never waste food.
Alright. So we'll continue to think. Regardless, I don't think this is a screw you over type of game. Not with autosaves. And I don't think you can't actually save the game on your own. So for it to be a screw you over game would make it a god-awfully bad game, which I don't think it is.
Hey, Graham.
Oh.
Don't touch that, Graham, or you might be the one losing an eye.
Oh!
Back away from the crumbler. Unless you have 50 gold coins for a work order.
How much for that twisty dagger over there?
It's not for sale. Needs a bit more work. You can post a work order on anything you want lifted, chopped, or crumbled. Then I'll bring out Mrs. Crumbler to fulfill the order. You can post a work order on anything you want lifted,
I wish you could skip.
Chopped, or crumbled. Then I'll bring out Mrs. Crumbler to fulfill the order.
Alright, so I can't actually buy anything from there, it seems, right now. Let's go to the wizard shop, then. The only reason I thought 3 decisions, if you remember in the initial dragon fight, Graham said he had 3 choices. And so I was... Ooh, that's what I want.
Always miss him this time of year.
I want this.
It looked like some type of broken lantern. It looked like some type of broken lantern.
Can I...
The only thing we can sell you for 1 gold coin is
That's
that
what I want.
blue-stained lantern. It's broken though and needs something to house it.
Alright, so we have nothing to house it. The bell?
Bells are always good for a distraction or two.
Thanks. That's helpful.
The only thing we can sell you for 1 gold coin is that blue-flamed lantern. It's broken, though, and needs something to house it.
And we can't... So the bells use it as a distraction. What about the strawberries? Can you give me a hint on them?
He reminds me...
Muriel won't let me eat those.
Alright. I might be able to give the strawberries to the baker. And distract the bull with the bell? Not the bull, Acorn. I'm just going to call him Raging Bull.
I am here to serve.
Got any free samples?
Oh, today only. I'm letting people sample our new walnut strudel.
Yeah.
However, I ran out of bitter root. It's really nasty on its own, but it really brings out the nutty flavor of the strudel. It usually grows under big, heavy rocks.
Okay.
If you can find me some, you can have all the free samples you want.
What's today's special?
Oh, well, today I am baking up quite the treat. Grandma's star shroom pie. A delicacy big enough to feed an army. Or someone with the appetite of an army. I've eaten it in one sitting before. Well, don't judge. No one would trust a skinny baker, now would they? Unfortunately, my ingredients haven't been delivered. And I can't complete the recipe.
So we have
Till
that.
those bridges get fixed, people will just have to settle for the love in my goat hoof pie instead.
Ew.
Tell you what, if you can find me some starberries and,
And
sugar
shrooms.
you can have this monster pie for the discounted price of 1 gold coin.
That's not a delicious, chocolate, hideous beast's eye cake I smell cooking, is it?
Looking for an eye, are you? Well, it must be that time of year again. Frankly, I can't tolerate it. The Fays weren't raised that way. It's archaic. So much fighting and needless killing. Compassion comes from the heart, you know? As does food. If you want to get to the heart of any problem, all you need is pie. You look like a compassionate fellow.
Heart of any problem's
like
important.
myself. And I think we're going to get along right as raisins. Please, don't take part in the violence.
So we okay.
Good day.
Bye pie.
We have the star
These
shroom.
starberries are perfectly ripe, just squishy enough, and with a faint scent of musky cabbage. Now, if you can find me the sugar shrooms, she's all yours, for the discounted rate of 1 shiny gold coin.
So doesn't give us the answer we need, though. Right? At the end of the day, I don't know what beast dye you would get. End of the day, we still need sugar shroom. End of the day, we still need a beast dye. So what would cause... And...
I'm not going to lie. I took that rock for granite.
Grandpa.
You're horrible, Graham. You're or Graham or Grandpa. Oh! I didn't know if tying a bell to it might have done something. Can I offer a
I have
bell?
to say, I'm pretty impressed with the craftsmanship of these traps.
Alright, we're going to solve one more puzzle, get to the next save. And then we'll call it a quits. Blue Lantern will get us into there. We have nothing to house, said Blue Lantern. There's still a whole area we haven't explored. Well, we have explored. None of that. Alright. The area at the open door. I'm wondering if we actually shouldn't just cut it here. We can try and get to the next puzzle. Let's do that. Let's go through Daventry and explore. And if it ends up being nothing, it ends up being nothing. If we end up seeing something on our way... Because truthfully, a bell provides a great distraction. But that doesn't give us a lot of information. Because we couldn't use the bell on the, whatchamacallit, the squirrels. For that pumpkin. Nothing with those thorns. And I just want to go back through this way again just to make sure that...
Here, kitty, kitty. Not a kitty, not a kitty!
Not a kitty. Alright, so that hasn't changed there yet. This might end up being nothing. Quite possible it is nothing, but a part of me likes to make sure, and with this sealed off, that helps to confirm that theory. Alright, well we do know at least this game is good with puzzle solving, right? It's not just going to be click through the game and solve it. I am going to cut... I wish I could save whenever I wanted. I dislike that a lot. You know, let's take the shortcut way back. And it doesn't seem to be anything over here, huh? Obviously the climbing there. It's very possible I could have missed something at this point. Hello? That's just the door to open that, to the bakery. Oh, you know what? I never grabbed the strudel. I should do that.
The sign read, "Ask us about our free samples."
But it doesn't have... Alright, so we can't...
Was he trying to set the record for the world's biggest pie?
Yes, he was. What's it about the free sample?
Yes,
I want to
lad.
make sure I have that right.
How do I get my free sample?
Well, bring me some bitter root. It's
Bitter
what I
root,
need
that's
to
right.
finish my walnut strudel. It grows under big, heavy rocks.
Yeah.
Good day.
Have a sweet time.
So how do I get leverage on that rock? The obvious answer is to somehow convince big guy down there. Well, big guy up there with the squirrel to move it. This is...
That did...
That didn't need a bell. And this doesn't need a bell. I can only look at it, I can't actually interact with it. Which is important. I should look back at that fantastical island again, but... And I can only look at him. That's the cave back there. And that's the arrow. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit. It kind of helps my thought process, honestly, to repeat some of the things that you know. And when you repeat information that you know, you have a better chance of jogging something in your mind. This potentially could be where we're going to have that writ to build a bridge. Alright. I feel like the last place we haven't done enough on is the frogs. But again, that could be incorrect. We obviously need the big guy to move that. I feel like I'm gonna take a frickin' hour. Did I go this way at all? God damn! I have not gone this way at all! Hi.
Hasn't anyone told you it's not polite to go stomping around on people's backs? Give me one good reason not to gobble you up right now.
If you let me go, I can return to you with bundles of royal food. You see, I'm training to be a knight. If you release me, I'll make sure the king rewards you for your troubles.
You're a little scrawny for a knight. A long neck and a silly feather like that? Are you sure you aren't a goose?
Yes, I am quite sure I am not a goose.
That's exactly what a goose would say. Lucky for you, Ulfie hates the taste of goose. The feathers are bad for digestion. Now, where do you want from Ulfie, Goosey?
You wouldn't happen to know where I can find an eye of a beast, would you?
Is it time for the tournament already? I thought that was on Tuesday.
I did too!
Bother, my memory's failing again. Ulfie's been suffering from sleep deprivation. A very rude monster has been snarling in the bushes behind my back.
Is this monster you speak of hideous, perchance?
Snarling Snarlax is legendarily hideous. Those puny guards of Daventry would surely be impressed by his eye. It is rumored the beast has 2 purple eyes with bright blue, glowing pupils, 6 legs, 3 claws, and 1 tooth. I could let you cross and perhaps even help you with that fire-eyed monster, but since Ulfie didn't eat you, Ulfie needs a pick-me-up. This big tooth is a sweet one. If you bring me something to eat, I'll consider helping you.
Alright.
Can you share with me why all the bridges seem to be missing in Daventry?
Well, little Goosey, until further notice, the Bridge Troll Guild is officially on strike. For too long have we, the bridges, have been stomped on by sharp-pointed shoes of the puny guards. And do they care that my back breaks out in an itchy rash from all that marching? Of course not! As Pilar says, for shame, Daventry! We're not going back to work until the kingdom can take better care of their roads. I should be at the meeting, but Ulfie always shows up fashionably late. Right when the croissants are served.
What are all those weird instruments around the bridges for?
Usually those horns are used to summon its associated bridge troll to fill the gap. But we have removed all mouthpieces until we get word from the head of the guild. Ulfie was instructed to keep all his horns hidden from humans. I keep mine under my butt.
Oh.
Happy trails.
Waddle back briskly, Goosey. Ulfie is starving.
Alright. That doesn't actually help me as much as I'd hoped it would. And this thing.
Seems like a waste of...
That didn't need a bell.
This is the road we came from. You know what? I'm sure with that, I think there was probably a quick save there. So as always, folks, thank you very much for watching. Tune in the next. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it.